Danny C. I'm trying to give a name that people don't call you. Like
Danny C is dope.
Danny C. It sound like an old breakdancer.
That's like a rapper in the 80s.
Oh yeah, or a breakdancer with a crazy move. But like, yo, Danny C coming with and he double jointed. He's crazy with it. But
I'll take Danny C.
Danny C. fire. Welcome back to the compound.
Thank you.
First question we always ask is like, especially you being an artist, like, what do you think about the compound? And when you come in as being an artist, what inspires you in here?
What I think about the compound, man, as soon as I step in here, those creative juices are flowing, my bro. It's like I said before, like every time I'm around you guys, I just want to work. You know, and it's I want to be around people that loves to do cool work, cool shit. Sorry if
no, you good.
That's the word.
Fuck it.
But yeah, fuck it. All right, yeah. But I like to be around people that love to do cool shit, man. And as soon as I step in the building, there's so much creatives, and you know, it gives me that vibe. I want to just go to the studio and work, bro.
Nah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So, Compound Conversations, basically me, friends, people I look up to, and just talking about their journey. And like, cause a lot of people might only know you from the last piece of work that you put out,
right?
Or they know a chapter, but I try to go through a chronological timeline of your journey and not the hype moments. So let's start from, I don't know if we start from Puerto Rico or we start from New York, but where did it all start? You know, when did you enter Earth and who was in the family?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's 1980, man.
Wow.
Brooklyn, New York, Long Island College Hospital.
Okay.
Born to humble Puerto Rican parents, and just a New York City kid, just trying to figure it out. Raised in an era where it was chaotic, a lot of violence. It was like Afghanistan or World War II going on.
That's why 42nd Street was scary.
You know, it was like you're surrounded about these elements, but at the same time, I was happy. I had a great childhood.
Yep.
I won't trade it for nothing in the world. I was surrounded by love, and as chaotic as it was, you know, it was village. You know, growing up on my block and. When it was still cool, there was like the OGs were really, you know,
OGs,
would really take you to your crib when they see you out of line and you know,
and fuck you up before you even
fuck
get to your crib.
Before and take you to the crib and then
you know
they were allowed to, but now it's a different story now.
So you true New Yorker, how important, man, and just how special is it? Like one time we all traveled in our life, and I feel like I was in Cape Town, and I was like, yo. People was like, you from New York. Like, how special is it for you to be like from New York and be an artist from New York? How special was that to your career? And then we'll just jump into the journey.
It was very special because that's where I learned, that's where I bled at, that's where I cried at, that's where I learned everything. It was the streets of New York City, and just that label is just like a big pass, a big label in your chest, like everywhere you go, it's a New Yorker, you know, so it's like a stamp. But the aesthetically, sonically, you know, culturally, food,
of course,
just culture, and growing up in the 80s, 90s, everything was like at its peak high, the best, like from music to movies to fashion to art, you know. Cars. And I'm so happy and proud that I was made in that era, you know what I mean? So it's so special to me, and I carry it like a flag. I wave it everywhere I go.
It's a fact.
You know, especially New York City, being a Brooklyn kid raised in Bushwick and Bed-Stuy, you know, those two mashes is what made me today, and I honor it, I carry it, I will always cherish it.
Nah,
it's very special.
I'm saying, man, being to say I was born in New York, you know, because I lived half my life in Philly, but I used to want to take my birth certificate to like high school, but like, nah, I'm from New York. Y'all can say whatever you want, but I'm from New York. So let's talk about like the household, because it's a household and then there's a Puerto Rican household.
Yes.
It's two, and it's so much love from like from the humans of Puerto Ricans to the food, to the music, to the language, to like, and even in the 80s, you know, you got graffiti culture. Like I always say, Puerto Ricans played a big part in dance and you know, the graffiti music. Like What was that household growing up like, far as like just the cultural and all those pillars of culture connected for you growing up as a kid in the household?
Tons of salsa music blasting through the speakers, especially Saturdays when my mom would cook her day off. I mean, we clean the house, so that's early in the morning, and it's always telenovelas during the week. And,
was y'all using Fabuloso?
Oh my God! No, before Fabuloso, it was King Pine.
King Pine?
King Pine. That was like a thing. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then put it in the comments. King Pine.
Because I'm like a big fan. See, when I was young, I was like knocking off this young Spanish joint, and I seen Fabuloso Lavender.
Okay, yeah, like, that's the go-to.
Yeah, that was the go-to.
It was either the red one
or the lavender.
Or the lavender.
I used to I got in trouble because I was calling it like Fabuloso Grape.
You put a different label, people try to drink them.
Yeah, I was like, yo, they got the ill fat, because Welch's Grape was popping back then. So I was like, they got the Welch's Fabuloso.
And my mom used to heat it up.
The Fabuloso?
Yes, in a little pot, especially just for that. She used to heat it up and just gave the house
so she had like a cologne perfume aura with the heat.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she
had to trick it with some cinnamon sticks in there.
Oh,
Puerto Ricans inventing stuff.
She basically had
her own
she had
plugins.
Like the Puerto Rican Nag Champa.
yes, but growing up with the music, the food always smelling like, sofrito, like Tracy Morgan said one time in one of his bits that he could smell that sazon and sofrito. As soon as I came from school and I put the keys and I'm in that hallway, you smell I already know my mom was cooking some banging food. And typical weekend, in between the third floor where we lived and the second floor, Margie, a New Yorican woman, who would blast, that was raised with the black folks, and it was Marvin Gaye, and there was a lot of disco and soul music.
So you had South on the left, and
yes,
R&B.
And above me was R&B, soul, and all these cool. I call them like barbecue music, fun.
Yeah, she had the Steve Harvey playlist back then.
Oh man, it's the best music. I hear that and I get chills. It transports me to a beautiful place that like I said, as chaotic it was in the 80s crack epidemic and everything.
Totally.
These little senses
was going off.
It's going off and teaching me. And made me who I am today.
So did you have brothers and sisters, or was it just you?
I got two brothers, but they live in Puerto Rico.
Okay, so you was the only child.
Here with my mom.
So you was the only child growing up?
Yes, the only child growing up. But, I got brothers, cousins.
Of course.
That are not blood.
You're Puerto Rican, of course.
Yeah. The whole block was my brother to this day.
So let me ask you this. For me growing up like child, I had two older sisters, right? So it was a world where cartoons, movies, and everybody was my friends almost. Because I feel to this day I think that's what sparked a lot of my creativity. When growing up, because now you got the food, you got the culture, you got the music, you got the lady upstairs with the solid gold playlist, Soul Train.
Yes.
When in the household, or when did this creativity bug start? Or what was you attracted to as a kid that you could look at today and be like?
Well, you made a good point when you said cartoons, because it's the same thing with me. I would just be in front of that TV and just disappear, and go to this fantasy of like when Sesame Street would go on, and then Mr. Rogers would come through, and me looking at Mr. Rogers and that trolley would pull in, and you see the way the camera pans out, which you see it in my work to this day.
Wow.
It comes from those elements, is the way the camera pans out, and you see these little tiny homes, and it was so magical. I wanted to live there. I wanted, knowing how wild my surroundings were, I wanted to live in this place, I
want to go there.
Yeah, but I knew from early that I didn't come from that world, And what spoke to me more was Sesame Street. You see the stoop with Big Bird and the whole crew.
It was the block, basically.
You see the Grouch,
Oscar
the Grouch in the dumpster, in the
can.
and that spoke to me more because around me was the aesthetics were weathered and the rust and the grit, which makes the beautiful New York City that I love today. And But looking at these Saturday morning cartoons, they always fed us the toy.
Yeah, always.
They get you hooked to the cartoon,
Yep.
and then they'll throw a commercial, get the toy.
Buy Big Bird now.
Buy
Kitty
this,
City.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Transformers,
All of them. Yep.
Thundercats. So I'm glued to this TV, and yes, I wanted the action figures, but what caught me was the background stuff, the
world.
the dioramas. Yeah, there was a building with fire escapes and the sewer caps with smoke coming out, and I was like, that's what I want. Because when I play with the toys, I want to immerse myself in that world.
In that world, yeah.
And
they
my
never
mom was
sold
like,
that.
they don't sell none of that.
Yeah,
My
Barbie
son
was the only one who had the house for sale.
They had all the cool stuff.
Barbie
right?
had everything.
They had vans and everything, But they did have little play sets and but it wasn't really like, I already knew that aesthetically it wasn't my thing.
You know who had it when I think about it now? And I was a Lionel train collector. Train sets had the stop signs, like there was, but I never even thought to take the Lionel like backgrounds and put it with the action figure.
I had a car wash set one time, like this. It was a Christmas gift for like
Hot Wheels or Matchbox.
It was like the knockoff. Neither than not. We bought it at Fat Albert. If you guys know what I'm talking about, Fat Albert and Graham and Broadway. It was a box and it came with like 100 cars, very cheap.
Yep.
But it had this little place that you put together, and you had the ramp for the car wash. It goes
That's
to
fire.
it. Yeah, so the micro machines.
Oh yeah, the micro
Remember
machines.
that one?
Yeah, they was dope too.
But yeah, I always wanted the background stuff. My mom was like, nah, they don't make that. So what I would do is collect the cereal boxes, right? And I would tape them all together, and I'll paint little bricks on them, cut doors, windows, and I will be hours and hours in my world. So that's where subliminally fast forward plays a big role in my art.
So it's funny because I did the same. So I would take my sneaker boxes, and then each sneaker box would be a world. But then I would stand the sneaker box up this way.
Yes.
So one would have sugar in it, and I would take like.
Is that sugar?
Sugar.
Okay.
And then I would take like the Luke Skywalker outfit with the Han Solo outfit and the Tauntaun and put it in there, and that's the Planet of Hoth.
Okay.
And then another one, I would go outside, take the dirt, and then I would put it on the bottom of the sneaker box, take the Chewbacca and Han Solo, Return of the Jedi outfit, and make
I think we got good work on a collab now.
And it was like sneaker. So on my dresser would be like 3 sneaker boxes. One would be, and I would take trees and dirt, and that would be the forest. And then another one, sugar, was the snow. And then, but that was lit. And I used to just lay in the bed and look at my sneaker boxes like, you ill.
Yeah, that's direct dioramas, man.
Yeah, because it was
dioramas.
Like, I think the only thing everybody did was get in the tub with their toys and be like, he's swimming.
Yes.
And I was like, this is getting, but then I got heated because I'll never forget my Boba Fett in 1979 with the shooting backpack, put him in the tub, and now his arms, the arms loosen up. It was over once you start. You get in the tub 5 times with an action figure.
Done.
He's done. His
Done.
neck is not. You can't move him no more.
What about the G.I. Joes with the rubber band?
Yeah.
Will
I had
snap
like half
off?
bodies, like 10
Yeah,
half
of
bodies
course.
with the rubber band got weak. So I never heard anybody else take cereal boxes. So
Yes, bro.
Yeah, that was.
And I would just transport to another world, bro.
So what age was we then?
This is like 7. This is when probably 7, 8.
Yeah,
Ninja Turtles
7 is when it hit me.
era.
Totally.
88,
Yep.
87.
For me, that was like, actually it was 77 when they hit me. So
And I remember on Christmas, the WWF ring, bro. That was I had wrestling figures, but the ring it was a
big.
diorama.
Yeah.
So now the wrestlers came to life, and I remember it was Christmas Eve, bro, and my mom was like, I have your gift here. Don't mess with it, right? Leave it there. It's wrapped and everything under the tree.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to figure out what is this? What is this? So I woke up like 6 in the morning. During the week when it's school, I won't wake. No kid wakes up early.
Yep.
When it's time for school, but on the weekends on Saturday, we wake up at 5, 6 in the morning.
Especially on Christmas, yeah.
So it was on Christmas Eve or the 23rd, something like that. But it was under the tree, and I remember cutting it and just peeling a little bit of the wrapper,
To see
of the
it.
gift wrap, just to see us, to get a little hint, because I was so excited, and I saw Hulk Hogan like this. Bro, I was like, I stood quiet, jumping up and down, ran to the room, and I was like the best kid ever for that weekend.
Yeah, like, I'm
just
chill.
waiting. I'll wait calmly. It's okay. I already
And
know what I
Mom,
want.
I'll
I
clean
can't
the house,
wait.
whatever you
And
need.
whatever she wanted. You know,
doing
she
it.
got, yeah, bro. And I took a peek. I cheated, peeled back the gift, and I see, you know, the play set, bro. It was
It's fire.
It was a magical, that WWF logo. Wow.
You did it. She did it.
Yeah, she did it. She made it happen, bro.
Yeah.
Like I remember coming home and from school, and there'll be a triple fat goose on the thing, you know what I mean? And
Right.
you know, it wasn't the polo,
Yeah, but it's still
that was
hot.
triple fat,
Fat
goose
goose, yeah, it's
was
fire.
you know. But I remember coming home and the Super Nintendo would be there,
Yeah,
you know, and we, you know, single mom, poor.
Yo,
She made it happen. My mom, I don't know how she did it, but she made it happen.
I had Atari, man, 79. I had ColecoVision, Texas Instruments. I had Atom. I had Duck Hunt with the gun. I was
Duck Hunt, yes, with the gun, yes.
I never
had the red gun.
Yeah, I had the gray one.
You had the gray one. You had the
and then,
original.
What was the little robot that came with it? Remember the robot?
The robot,
I had
the power
robot.
glove,
Yeah,
the track. I just bought all that.
Wow.
Recently, yeah. I got the Olympic mat.
Oh yeah, we
the
gotta bring
glove,
that.
the
You gotta
robot.
come over
yes,
here.
Yes,
We gotta
I'll bring it through.
We gotta put that on the big screen.
Yes, I haven't even tried it out. We're gonna do that.
So, for me, I made a switch. Like I knew I was creative around like the same age 7. I was like, yo, I'm building these worlds. I'm playing with toys different than everybody else play with them. You know, I was so cooked. I used to, if I get to say I get to go to Kitty City or I go to Sears and I get a new action figure, I would bring that action figure home and I would line up all the other ones and I introduce them like, yo, Boba Fett, this is Darth Vader. You're gonna rock with him, but you're gonna have to. Like I was
Right, it
really
was your own world.
Yeah, I was imagining. So then for me, music kicked in and I made a left turn. But you stayed in that lane. When did it?
No, I definitely took a shift too.
Yeah, in art, you know, but now like when did it turn into like? Because you was already building stuff as what you do now, and like when did it for like, you know, like this is what I really want to do? Because it was playing with it as a toy,
Yes.
but it like
I was just playing with it.
Yeah.
Did not know like years later this would happen. No, this was. I find out the passion was 2000 during COVID.
Wow, that's
Yeah, I only got 5 years in the art world.
no. I know it came later.
Yeah, it came
but
later.
But did it ever click through the process?
No, you know, now fast forward, sports. I was a huge baseball player.
Yep.
I
You did music too?
I did music as
Yep.
well. So you know, '93, Wu-Tang 36 Chambers came out, and I went left. Boom. No more toys. You know what I mean? No, none of that.
So
I
the
didn't
music-
care for that. Music and sports
Was it?
was it.
But now, was it ever, you know, because, like I said, I've been doing this toy thing a long time, and shout out to one of my partners, Dre. We've been doing this toy thing serious as kids, and I never heard nobody taking the cereal boxes. Like, I don't even know how, I think we had one cereal box a month maybe, so I was probably like, once we had.
The King Vitamins and the Kabooms,
Yeah,
man.
I was like, see, you had a selection or something. But like, it's funny because I remember for me, it's like even like now with the compound, I was a DJ starting, and then it stopped. Like, you know, for a while I got into marketing, and then now me coming back creating a record bar, and it's like, wow, I'm going back to really what started it with. So fast forward looking at your career. Made this left turn with baseball and,
Yeah.
and hip hop, but it came back.
It came back
Through the journey, did you ever feel like something was missing though?
all the time.
Wow.
You know, just going through life as an adult and just trying to figure things out, see what clicks, just throwing stuff to the wall, see what sticks, you know what I mean? But every time I found myself alone or going through something tragic or you know, depressing in my life, I will wonder, you know, I would think, like we all do, the best person to deal with is yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like I was craving nostalgia. And every time I would see an 80s movie, it would bring me to this happy place, or a cartoon, or something simple from my childhood. It would bring these dope memories, even a song. you know, and using these senses, I was craving this nostalgic things that were missing and kept me sane and happy. And during COVID, you know, now we're locked down. I'm battling legal troubles because I decided to go through a route that I don't regret, but you know, it was a bad decision. But it had to be that way, you know. It had to be that way. Journey. It was written that way. It's part of the journey. That's how God wanted it to be. Because if there was not that story, I wouldn't be able to inspire and the next person. You know, that it's never too late. Your back could be against the wall, and you know, it's up to you. At the end of the day, you can manifest anything you want, but if you don't put the work in, it's not. Those things won't take place. You know, so. I'm a big believer in that, and now fast forward. We're in COVID now, middle of legal troubles, battling court system, lose everything. I'm back at mom's house. You know how it is when you successful. You when everything is up and running. The champagne is flowing and everything, but once shit hits the fan and you turn that light on, the roaches scatter. Exactly the way it is. Cliche as it sounds, that's exactly jail or death, and exactly that's what happened. You know, everybody disappears. I'm left alone. The only one that's gonna hold you down is mom. You know, and in Bed-Stuy, I had 2-bedroom, small little apartment, and that week of COVID, you know, I felt like it was depression or anxiety or whatever that it is, but it's called life, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I learned how to deal with it, that every time things don't go my way, I always blame myself, like, oh, everything is me, the world is against me, and God punishes me, and I got the black cloud, and I'm always complaining. No, dude, it's called life. Yep. We have ups and downs, and it's gonna happen again. We're gonna go through dark times, and we're gonna go through happy times. It's just, you flow with life, and you figure it out. You figure it out as you go. And all of that happened before, all my life, you know, was mapped out. Yeah, totally. I'm a big believer. It was supposed to be that way. Yeah, like I needed that story. It was supposed to be. And you know, being in Bed-Stuy, chilling in a small 2-bedroom at mom's house, now we can't go outside. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. You can't go outside. You can't work. You can't do anything. That week I was a chef. I was everything. I binge watched like a bunch of shows that I was trying to get into, and you know, it was the first 2 weeks were all right. This is cool. It's not that bad. But then you're like, okay, all right, nah, this is not right. This ain't working. This ain't human. Like, no, and. Cleaning my room, I found these supplies. I found these supplies and a couple of X-Actos, a couple of paints. Like, I started working on the miniatures before the COVID, but I wasn't taking it serious because of life, you know? I didn't have time, definitely no time. And now I have all the time in the world. It was like God resetted the world for me, and I took it very personally. I took it, this happened for me. Like, this is the way how I'm gonna overcome this. The COVID-19, the pandemic, everything was for me to prepare my journey. That's how I took it. As tragic, everything was going around all over the world, but I took it like a personal thing. And I'm working on these pieces. The first piece I worked on was an icebox. Let me bring it back a little bit. I was also surfing on Instagram, and I'm seeing all these cool people being creatives, you know what I mean? I was seeing people create dioramas of these fantasy dioramas, World War II dioramas with soldiers, and the way it looked so realistic, people doing the same style of me, you know, and I just took it, you know, I said, let me try this. I tried it, and I was hooked instantly. I didn't think about my problems. I didn't think about depression, anxiety.
You found peace.
I found peace, my bro. I never thought about a dollar. It wasn't about money. It was about, you know, I found a purpose. Like, wow, I feel good about myself. I'm actually doing something I love. And what was happening was, if this makes sense, I was so in love of this craft that I couldn't wait to wake up.
To do it again.
To finish it, to do it again. I couldn't wait to wake up. if that makes sense. It was like I was like, yes, we have to sleep, of course. But if I had to choose sleep, I would have like
stayed up and kept going.
But of course, you gotta sleep, and I just couldn't wait to wake up and work on this piece. And I was so locked in that I found myself thinking about Mr. Rogers, the Sesame Street, all these little feelings were coming back as a kid, the cereal boxes, and me being alone, and how life was simple.
Let me ask you this, because you hit a point that I was about to ask you a question. You know how all our life, right? I got a book that one day I'm gonna write. It's like the title is "I Want to Make It, But I'm Already There."
That's powerful.
I've been sitting on the title for like 15 years.
Wow, that's deep.
Because, basically when you was watching Mr. Rogers, you went your whole life to make this U-turn.
Absolutely. That was the gap, remember we were talking
about. Did you ever feel like, dang, it's that other saying they say, it's right there in front of your nose all the time.
It was always there.
But did you ever feel like, wow, I found it now?
That was instantly, bro. And then when my mom, the only validation that I need in this world is from my mom.
Yep.
And she's coming in the room, and I'm showing her these pieces, like, wow, that's good. Like, put it on Facebook, And I'm like, you think so? It's like, that's amazing. That's so cool. And me, like a little kid, I'm happy that she's happy.
Yep.
Because she's the only one I want to please. I put her through so much that, this journey in my life made a big connection with her.
With you and her?
Yes, with me and her, yeah. So, I listened, I put it on Facebook, Instagram, I created a Instagram page, and the love that I'm getting back, it was like, whoa, okay.
This is real.
Yes, this is real, and but I never thought that I was gonna connect as a nostalgic sense of the art. It was just something cool that I made with my hands, and we're there, and I felt good about myself. I'm in a flow state. I'm an out-of-body experience, and this is what I made, world. Check it out. And the response is big. And just for the people asking, like, yo, is this for sale? Is this? How'd you did that? Now they're involved in it with the comments on, you should make this, you should make that. Now they're connecting in nostalgia.
So they build it onto your world.
Yes, exactly. Yo, you should make the bodega, Don Julio's or Mr. Rodriguez bodega from around the corner. Remember when the hubcaps on the
BBS joints,
all that, like, they were just putting their input, and I'm like, oh, you know what? Yes, and I'm listening to them, and I'm recreating these pieces, and they're just connecting, bro. And then I'm seeing all this fan mail that I'm getting. It was like, okay, this is something. I'm onto something.
So let me ask you this, because this is me, and people might still think I'm cooked. I'm still playing with toys. I'm still arranging layouts and setups and everything. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that, brother.
I'm happy.
Yes,
I got some of the biggest, best toys in the game. I'm good.
See, this is what I say when I meet fans and everything in my shows. We never stop being kids.
So that's what my question was. How important is it to you to still have this feeling of a kid in you?
Very important, because that's what keeps me going to the studio. That keeps me creating, you know what I mean? And being that kid refreshes my memory to admire the dope aesthetics that I walk through. My surroundings, the cracked sidewalks, the rust drips from the gate, the graffiti over the layers, the stickers.
The chain on the gate that you want to hop.
Get these gritty eyesores to the normal eye is beauty to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So being a kid, transporting to that time is very important in my art.
Same with me.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward a little. You found yourself. It's always under your nose.
Yep.
Mr. Rogers has invaded your life now on a real scale.
Real scale.
Pandemic's over. When did this turn into like a business, and how did it turn into, like, because now you're like, yo, I found the itch. I got my itch, but these comments can equal bread.
Absolutely.
Like, how did that turn into a business, and when did that start?
Okay, so in the middle of the pandemic, I was throwing my resume out when I'm creating these pieces at my mom's two-bedroom apartment in Bed-Stuy. I'm throwing my resume out. I get called, killed the ego. Now I am working, I'm a essential worker for, I'm a porter at Greenpoint, a homeless shelter in Greenpoint, right? So the first 2 days of me being there, I was so bored out of my mind. And then, once you pass these metal detectors, you felt the tension, the bad vibe.
Yeah, the energy.
You felt it. Like there's people in there, not because they're homeless or not because they're bad people, not because they're addicts or mental, something's going on with their mental. There's people that would have 9 to 5s, and just because of a fire, crippled them, and now they're in a homeless shelter. You know what I mean?
They lost everything.
Yeah, they lost everything. These are 9 to 5 daily normal people, and the tension was thick. So the first 2 days, I was bored out of my mind. I'm just in the out of order bathroom with a little desk and a walkie-talkie right here, waiting for that to ring. The security from the first floor be like, hey, bathroom 3, 4, hallway 2. Excuse me. Needs mop, sweeping, throw out this trash. Just waiting for the call on that walkie-talkie. So I figured it out. I was like, wait a second. What about I'm here? This could become my first studio, official studio. It's tiny out of order bathroom with a little classroom desk and my walkie-talkie right there. So I could bring some supplies, I could practice, right? And then, post, and then as soon as that walkie-talkie rings, I'll go do what I do. I'll come back and work. I won't be bored. So I'll use my time, wisely. And sure enough, the craft kept getting better, because I'm practicing every day. And when I post, now it's getting crazier. Now the followers are going up. Now the comments, like, how much? I'm like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, and somebody gave me for a piece, for all those collectors that bought that, thank you guys. There's pieces out there that people pay $30, 40 bucks for, handmade, original core. There's the pandemic pieces. And, now I'm looking at my account. Now I'm making more money a day than I get in 2 weeks at this place. So I'm like, damn, I don't know, the math ain't math in here.
I gotta make a decision.
Yeah, now I got all these orders now because I have to come into work, it's stopping me from getting all this extra money. I needed 3 people to give me advice from. My PO, my mom, and my fiance. Should I leave the homeless shelter and take this art serious? They're like, fuck yeah, leave that shit. Everybody, unanimously, everybody. And sure enough, I called the cheese service group, and I'm like, listen, I'm an artist. I'm gonna leave it. I got all this press coming along, got newspapers, everybody hitting me up. Oh, that's you? Oh my God, I'm a big fan of your work. Why you didn't tell me? I would have gave you a month off or something. I was like, no, I decided to, take this full time. I appreciate it. And next thing you know, 2 weeks from me resigning, I left at a good standard with them. Sotheby's, I get a call from Monica Lynch, who was the president at Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, yeah.
Yeah, she sends me a DM. Listen, I think your art is, got what it takes to be auctioned at the hip hop section of the Sotheby's. And I have no formal art training. All I had was my cereal boxes. Cereal boxes. I have no formal art trainings. The only art that I knew was graffiti, of my graffiti friends and everything that was around me as a kid. And I called a couple of my art boys. Yo, listen, Sotheby's, they give me a call. They want to sell my art. What, dude? You're going to the Super Bowl, the Grammys of the art world at this point. And I'm like, man, watch, say yes to it, bro. You never know, do it. And I'm only a year and a half in. And sure enough, after that show and watching your art getting auctioned.
You know what's crazy?
From $30 to thousands.
One of the things I remember when I was DJing, and I think we go through this in every stage of our life, it's like peers and acceptance, right? So Sotheby's, the call, the money's coming in. Like I remember when I was DJing, and rest in peace to Clark Kent, and the Prince Pauls, and all my guys, they was like, nah, you nice. You can do this. Like being an artist, and like now you're seeing like the peers of your game, graffiti, you're in a couple different realms, graffiti, art, model, like the model thing. Like how good and how important was that when you started getting that love from peers and the greats of the game with your art?
Oh, very important, man. It's like every state, every city I go to, you get those butterflies and like, are they gonna come out,
Yeah.
And it solidified when I went to Paris, and I'm walking down the hall of the gallery, and the hip hop museum the Museum of Graffiti was there, and I'm walking and I'm seeing these legends, and I see T-Kid from afar, and I peek and I'm like, we made eye contact. He's like, Cortez. Just that right there,
like,
bro,
I did
from
it.
T-Kid is like, what? That was, like, it hit me there. And going to dinner with Luis Guzman and and just him just sit down here next to me and just want to pick my brain on, like, wow, these masters, these artists are just want to have a conversation with you and asking me questions like, how do you do it? How is it? It's amazing. And the way they trip out on my art, that definitely feels great, makes me want to work hard, and gives me a little sense of like I'm here. Sometimes it's a blur sometimes, man.
No, it is.
I've done so much, like New York Times and everything also was a big monument in my career. And all these moments sometimes it's a blur. And I'm like, sometimes like, yo, people, they tell me, you don't know how famous you are. Like, bro, I'm like, I don't feel it,
I go through it at the same time. I'm always like, yo, they were like, yo, Free, you did it. And I'm like, nah, I
don't feel it. I think that's how we hungry.
Yeah, I think hungry, and I love that I'm blessed to stay humble. And I'm always trying to up myself.
That's me.
I don't think it's for anybody. It's not for the amount of money. It's like, I got to keep doing better for myself. So, no matter what the world thinks of anybody, if I don't feel I'm doing whatever the craft, the talent, or the job is.
The money, if you think about the money, and that's what a lot of artists, this is for a lot of artists out there, and don't go in the art game trying to don't think about the money before the art, please, because that's not where it starts. It starts right here. Is the love. If you think about the money before the craft, the art, the music, then it doesn't mean shit.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean shit, so it just comes, just work from the heart.
It'll happen.
And it will happen. Just keep grinding, and I think that was my advantage, that I didn't care about the money.
You loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah. Nah, it's the same. I'll tell people even I don't have no sponsors with this show. It's no budget. It's like we're doing this because we love it, me and my team, and it's like telling the stories and educating, and it's gonna happen.
It's gonna hit.
Me designing this place, it was like, if nobody ever came here, this
is dope, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. It was like, this is what I want to work in. So another thing to go through your journey. Of course, I pretty much know the answer a little bit because it all goes back to the TV and the Sesame Street and the worlds. In the world of art, it hit a point where everybody was scale. I got a chance to make 4 Foots with Ron English, and we seen calls go into the buildings, and we just seen so much scale. But you went the opposite. You're like, I'm gonna get smaller, or I'm gonna get miniature,
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, yo, he's standing in an ocean on the reef that's so small, but you're still in the big ocean. What what inspired you to stay there? Because I mean, as we look at the mailbox, if you sold mailboxes a 4 foot, it'll sell, and or we do a 20-foot mailbox, it'd be crazy. But you're like, no, I'm gonna do 1,000 limited little ones. Like, what kept you in the mind frame when everybody went right? You're like, I'm gonna stay here.
It was just immortalizing the city I love. The old New York City, the New York City that's disappearing at the moment, and every New Yorker, every '80s kid, not say '80s, let's go. Any New York City person that's a nostalgic junkie wants something, a part of New York City. You know, like we were talking earlier, that badge of New York City, of that New York City badge, and it's just immortalizing where I come from. What are the objects that we pass by, because we live in a world where it's a hustle and bustle, everything is fast paced, and we don't take advantage of these beautiful pieces that are around us, and we pass by these things every day, but we don't miss it until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And me making a piece that you can always have, and it get passed down, and you can walk around it instead of it being a flat 2D. It's a 3D, and you're around it, and you can pick it up, and you can feel New York City. You can feel your childhood. You can feel the love you have for your city, and you know, definitely in the future I'll scale up. I did scale up as well for set designs. You know what I mean?
Design, but not for like.
But not as a drop. But we working on that. I did Hip Hop 50. You know, the set design for that. That was another milestone.
Milestone moment.
Yeah, that's a milestone. I was part of 50th anniversary. What?
Yeah, as an artist.
What? As an artist? Yes.
And both sids, rapper, because you was a rapper.
I was a rapper and baseball. Like now, I just got off set yesterday, a 3-day shoot for MLB commercial. I shot 2 commercials with them in the past month. So I'm connected through
all your 3 love.
Music plays a big part of my art. Art and music go together, like cookies and cream, rice and beans. Music and art is right there.
And baseball is a sport.
And baseball is a sport.
Spanish culture.
Spanish culture, and it's MLB Latino. Yes, it's Lindor, Acuna, Tatis Jr., Fernando Valenzuela.
Oh, congratulations!
Yes, man. It's like, I got a show in Puerto Rico on the 28th, I believe, and then from there I go to Mexico City, go to Toronto, go to Houston, back in New York City, and all through miniature art. All because I loved it. I stood true to myself. I didn't give up on myself when everything was coming crashing on me, and I had that black cloud, like I said, around me, pouring on me. And I just got up, brushed it off, and kept working. And that's it.
It's funny, we have this Marvel book in the middle. You're the reverse of Ant-Man, because everything he made was to grow. You grew by staying small. It's
a giant. That's the name of the show in Puerto Rico. Is giant. Los gigantes en miniatura. The giants of miniature.
I knew something was miniature.
Yeah, the giants of miniature.
That's amazing, man. It's been an amazing. Even to hearing your journey and your story, just to like, it's like the small guy stayed small.
Yo, and we still got so much work to do.
So much more to do. Totally.
So much more to do.
I'm gonna find, and I'm making a Danny Cortes collab piece here in this conversation. I'm gonna find an old New York mailbox, but I want to put it here, and you redo it like this, but a real one.
I have a 6-foot one in the studio.
No, I gotta find a real
3-foot joint.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was a little higher. Was it? I thought it was 4 foot.
Like around there.
The one with the handle down.
It's like 3 feet.
Yeah.
It's like 3.5 feet.
Yeah, I got
somewhere around.
I gotta find a real one.
But let's do that.
And I think I might make it a top pop off. Make it an ice cooler.
Don't.
No, it's cool.
They're watching, man.
That means we gotta go find it quick. So before we end up everything, man, and going forward, like art is it's a huge canvas, you know, as far as what mediums you do. What is some of the things that if you dreaming out like, okay, this is where do you want, like, when I think about it, I look at your art like going to a new architectural building, and I always was in love with like seeing the world and like the trees and the hotels built.
Yes.
Like, where's that? Everybody has that goal, like where you want to end up. One is like, okay, this is what I want to be financially, family, da da da. But where is that goal for you creatively? Like,
I definitely, you know, everything starts. Every building it starts with a miniature. So I already passed that. The first step is there. You know, I've got interviewed by New Architect Digest and all that. I don't have no architect background, but it's the first step is there.
Yeah,
it is
totally.
the miniature. And my goal, my dream is, you know, before I transcend to the next realm, but is to collaborate with an architect and make a building. You know what I mean? And design a building.
would it be Lord of the Rings miniature, but livable for like our size?
No, it's gonna be a building for livable for us.
No, what I'm saying, you ever seen like I remember when I learned about Lord of the Rings and how it was shot, and it's like, you know, or even igloos, like they big, but they're like it's small.
Got you. Yeah,
It still feels miniature, but it's big. Is that in the world of like a full-scale miniature livable?
Full scale, but no, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably just a standard
Look.
dope building designed by me, and it says, you know, architect. The blueprints would be Danny Cortes and so on, or whatever company or architect collab.
Wow.
You know, but
Well,
we'll see.
Danny, thank you for the time, my brother.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, an awesome conversation,
Let's go
my
look for the
brother.
mailbox.
Let's go.
Somebody takes it.